April 2020 Planetary Transits for Libra and Libra Rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Libra on the Ascendant, Eastern Daylight Time, New York. We begin April 1st, 2020 with 2 planets in Capricorn in the 4th house sector. Jupiter at 24 degrees conjunct Pluto at 24 degrees of Capricorn. The Sun is placed in the 7th house at 11 degrees of Aries. The planet Mercury is at 15 degrees of Pisces, conjunct the planet Neptune at 19 degrees in the 6th house. In the 5th house, we have the planet Mars at 0 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct Saturn, also at 0 degrees. Venus is placed at 27 degrees of Taurus in the 8th house sector, along with the planet Uranus at 5 degrees. The moon is in Cancer at 8 degrees in the 10th house. Overview. The big news of April 2020 is the magnificent Jupiter-Pluto conjunction making its first hit at exactitude on April 4th at 24 degrees of Capricorn, 53 minutes. Please refer to my video on the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction 2020 for Libra and Libra Rising. This conjunction promises fortunate developments, changes, and transformations. Exactly what the world needs right now in the face of the current global crisis. And it's only the first of 3 hits. And I imagine it'll take time for those 3 hits to come in. On April 3rd, Mercury conjunct Neptune in your 6th house warns against excessive fear and worry pertaining to health or work concerns. This energy heightens your imagination. Use it to imagine all that you desire instead of dwelling on potentially negative scenarios. Also, on April 3rd, Venus enters Gemini and moves into the 9th house. April 4th brings Venus trine Saturn between houses 9 and 5, an excellent vibration for educational forms of recreation. Take a course online in a subject that's entertaining. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction makes its first of 3 hits at exactitude on April 4th. Hopefully, help is on the way for all of humanity in 2020. This conjunction taking place in your 4th house of home, family, and real estate could bring about a dream come true on the home front. Mars square Uranus on April 7th between houses 5 and 8 may bring an unexpected expense in connection with loved ones or recreational pursuits. On another level, joint financial issues may become a source of friction today. Impulsive spending by a partner on a major purchase without mutual consent or discussion may be the root cause. April 7th also brings the full moon, 10:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 18 degrees of Libra in opposition to the Sun at 18 degrees of Aries, spanning houses 1 and 7, highlighting relationships and partnerships, both business and personal. Individual needs and desires versus the demands and needs of the significant other is accentuated at this time. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction at 24 degrees of Capricorn, making a high-tension square to this full moon, may blow the self-other issue out of proportion into crisis mode. Keep your cool. On April 10th, the planet Mercury enters Aries and moves into the 7th house. The Sun will square Pluto on April 14th between houses 7 and 4. Avoid power struggles with partners and those on the home front. Pluto rules breakdowns of situations or objects in your environment, especially tools that have not been running smoothly and have been limping along. Fix your computer, your printer, your washing machine, or whatever is not working well before today, or you may have to deal with a last-minute system collapse. Sun square Jupiter on April 15th, between houses 7 and 4, gives you the guts and confidence to take on home improvement projects that you would normally shy away from. Go for it. On April 19th, the Sun enters Taurus and moves into the 8th house sector. Under Sun square Saturn on April 21st, between houses 8 and 5, avoid giving into depression or feelings of insecurity due to disappointments with loved ones. This is not the time to break off an intimate relationship or make final decisions about your love life. Let it pass. April 22nd brings the new moon, 10:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, at 3 degrees of Taurus in the 8th house, possibly bringing the opportunity for a new intimate relationship over the month ahead. On another level, reorganize the input and outflow of your joint financial assets and set up a new budget plan. Mercury square Pluto on April 24th or 25th, depending on your location, between houses 7 and 4, warns you to avoid arguments with family members. Pluto paranoia could cause you to be suspicious and read into things that are not there. Remember, Pluto sees plots all around. Whatever is bugging you today, let it go. The weekend of April 25th and 26th. Break out, fly free, and do something different and stimulating if you can. Under Mercury square Jupiter and the Sun conjunct Uranus, taking a trip and enjoying early spring weather might go a long way toward renewing you. On April 27th, the planet Mercury enters Taurus and moves into the 8th house. On April 28th, under Mercury square Saturn between houses 8 and 5, don't give in to financial fears. Under Saturn afflictions, we think we're seeing total reality and that the reality is negative. The truth is, our view at this time is overshadowed by internal fear and has nothing to do with the reality of a situation. On another level, communication with a loved one could prove to be challenging today. April 30th brings Mercury conjunct Uranus in the 8th house of joint finances. Your intuition is strong today, and new money-making ideas off the beaten track may come to you. It's also possible that you may receive stimulating, surprising, and unexpected communication that changes your way of thinking about your future.